leadership studies. I've studied French for, what, 3 years now?
Are you
That'd be
taking
great.
your proficiency in French?
People are going to be asking, well, what are the decisions that we made, in our time? And one of those better be cutting the spending, reining in the size of government, because if we don't do that, we're in a lot of trouble in multiple different areas of our economy and security around the world.
The big thing for me was Supreme Court appointments. So we have a Supreme Court, of course, and if we had a Democrat in office, we would probably get a progressive justice in the court who would, shape the, way of the court for years to come. But now with Trump, we're probably going to get a conservative in the Supreme Court. I am especially concerned with pro-life issues. So having a conservative justice on the court to tilt it towards pro-life issues is a great achievement for me.
Yeah, for me, I think this election, the most important topics of discussion and action in the future were foreign policy and the economy. And I think too often you find that Democratic candidates just talk about social issues, talk about, you can't label the enemy, you have to always be politically correct, you have to make sure that everyone feels like they're safe in this community, and that's important, but it's not the priority. In this election, foreign policy, for me, national security is at the utmost importance, and I felt that Trump was speaking a lot more about that, had more of a plan of action, is appointing people with that plan of action. General Mattis, for example, I think will lead this country and keep this country safe in a way that no Democratic candidate or cabinet would have done. So to me, that was the most important thing.
Yeah, I just want to go off of what Richard said. I think that for me, having a conservative Supreme Court bench is something that's going to benefit America for a long time. Even as someone who's socially moderate on a lot of issues, I think for me, again, being pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, within reason, is important to me. Someone who, I think Trump selecting a Supreme Court justice who, is tough on border security, tough on, basically, again, like I said, pro-life, pro-guns, pro-border security, those things that are going to last a long time and have a resounding impact on America.
So I take a little bit of a different position on that. I mainly look at Republicans in general and specifically looking at Trump now on more economic issues, specifically cutting spending and cutting taxes for the middle class. These are two key issues for me and for our futures, right? When we look forward 5 years or 10 years, people are going to be asking, well, what are the decisions that we made, in our time? And one of those better be cutting the spending, reining in the size of government, because if we don't do that, we're in a lot of trouble in multiple different areas of our economy and security around the world. So when it comes to voting Republican, or when it comes to this incoming administration and the Trump administration, one thing for me that I would definitely feel more comfortable and more assured in something that's going to actually happen is passing through Paul Ryan's agenda in the House of Representatives that cuts the size of government, that cuts spending, that assures that our defense is modernized, making sure that we have the right number of submarines and our Air Force is up to speed, and definitely cutting taxes for the middle class of America, because they're the ones that need relief right now, and so that's where it comes for me.
That's actually a pretty good point. Going off of that, actually, I think that one of the big things that I'm looking forward to in this Trump administration in the first 100 days is the repeal and immediate replacement of Obamacare.